Hi guys, good morning to all of you. Hello to everyone. Myself CA Chawla from V-Smart Academy, and this is going to be a new batch in English for financial reporting in association with Lakshya CA campus, right? Okay, first of all, please tell me whether my voice is clear. Am I audible? My video quality and audio quality is clear or not? Yes, this is the first introductory session as well as the technical session which we are taking in YouTube channel of Lakshya Academy. So first of all, again a very good morning to all of you, and you are most welcome to attend this session, this entire batch for financial reporting in English. So yes, let me take some names. Amina Bashir, good morning. Arjun Nair, good morning. Cricket Circuit, I don't know who is he or she. Amina Bashir, good morning. Jan Maria, good morning. Sharad, good morning. Suzanne, good morning. Okay, so yes, audio and video quality is clear. Okay, so whoever available or whoever watching this lecture live, please do comment and introduce yourself. Just a good morning message will be sufficient from you. Okay, so yes, this is the first introductory session, introductory as well as the technical session for financial reporting English batch, right? First of all, I'll take some minutes to explain you about this batch, to explain you the features of this batch. Even you guys are having some kind of doubts, you guys can ask me the doubts. I'll clear you about this batch, about the features of this batch. If you are having any kind of doubts, you can ask me here, and then once we'll done with the details of this batch, then we'll start the technical session from today only, right? Okay, some more students are there. Rashmi, Asil, Gulzar, Jibin, Pooja, Shantanu, Rakhi, Binu. Okay, so I can see some 20 to 25 students are there with me. Okay, so yes, let's come to the features of this batch. Let's discuss about the features of this batch. This is FR English batch, right? 100% simple English, right? Okay, now this batch is applicable for freshers as well as repeaters. Now what do you mean by freshers and repeaters? Freshers means you are taking the subject, you are taking this subject for the first time. You haven't taken this subject earlier from any faculty, or you have not done this subject by self, and you are the fresher, you are taking this subject for the first time. As well as repeaters, like those students who have already done with this subject through self-study or through any other faculty or through any other coaching classes, they can also do this batch for understanding the concepts, in a more clarity, right? For clearing their concepts. Okay, now in this batch we are going to cover 80% of the syllabus. Yes, 80% of the syllabus here means what? 80% of the syllabus means, if I classify the entire subject of financial reporting into three parts, into an ABC analysis kind of, like category A, category B, category C. See, category A means most important, and we are sure that the topics will come in the exam. ICI is going to ask such topics, such questions, the questions from such topics in the exam. Category B is important, but they may or may not come. Important, but they may or may not come. And category C is not so much important, and they do come in the exams. Like questions from category C topics come in the exams, but they cover just 15 to 20 marks. They cover just 15 to 20 marks, and they are the miscellaneous category. So in this batch, I am going to cover category A topics and category B topics, right? Category A topics and category B topics, like the most important one and the important one, for which we can be sure that institute is going to ask any kind of question from these two categories, right? Okay, and I'll give you the time, even I'll give you the opportunity to ask me the question. First of all, let me complete the entire thing which I would like to tell you about this batch. So first of all, let me complete on this, and then you people can start asking the questions about this batch, right? And some more students are there. Alina, Jobin, Vishnu, good morning guys. Okay, so sir, what will be the coverage of 80% syllabus? Like which topics you are going to cover? So topics like business combination, consolidation, associate, joint venture related Ind AS, like Ind AS 27, that is separate financial statements, Ind AS 103 business combination, 110 consolidated financial statement, Ind AS 28 investment in associates, Ind AS 111, that is joint arrangements. Okay, that is business combination. The next topic would be financial instruments. Financial instruments, Ind AS 32, Ind AS 109. Okay. Ind AS 115, revenue from contracts with customers. A compulsory, we can say that a compulsory question from 115. That means we know that one single question of 115 they are going to ask it definitely, of at least 10 marks. 115. Then asset based Ind AS, I haven't written the number of Ind AS number, but I'll tell you in short. Asset based Ind AS, like Ind AS 16 property plant and equipment, Ind AS 2 inventories, Ind AS 40 investment properties, Ind AS 41 agriculture, Ind AS 36 impairments, right? Ind AS 105 non-current assets held for sale, Ind AS 116 leases, which is the most important Ind AS, categorized under asset based categories. Okay, so these asset based Ind AS will be covered in this batch. And last but not the least, some other important special category Ind AS, like Ind AS 12 income taxes, Ind AS 19 employee benefits, Ind AS 21 effects of changes in foreign exchange rates, Ind AS 33 earnings per share, Ind AS 102 share based payments. So these are the topics we are going to cover in detail, yes, in detail, covering 80% of the syllabus, or 80% marks of the entire paper. Okay, right? Tell me, are you guys getting me? Please tell me, are you guys getting me? Even you can write these one, even you can write these topics in your copy. Okay, as far as copy is concerned, please make sure that you are making a separate register or a copy for financial reporting subject. You are having a new register with you, a separate copy with you for making all the notes or for solving all the questions, right? Okay, now come to this again. On this 80% syllabus, whether we are going to discuss only the concept part or concept part as well as the questions also. So the answer is, we are going to discuss both things. We are going to cover both the things. First of all, I'll explain the concept. Okay? The concept will be explained to you either through some examples, understood or not? Either through some examples or through book notes, understood? Then after explaining the examples, we'll cover questions also. We'll cover the questions also on all these topics. So in this batch, not only the concepts, this is not a revisionary batch. Let me clear. This is not a revisionary batch. It is a batch applicable for freshers also. So I'm considering freshers are also attending this batch. So basically, we are going to cover the conceptual part as well as the questionnaire discussion also. Understood? Okay. So now, the third point, the third thing is, sir, are we getting any books if we are registering on this course? Yes, you are going to get the books. These 3 books you will get in hard copy. Yes. Whatever the fees you have paid, the cost of books will be included in your fees. So we are not going to charge anything extra for these books. So these are the books. First is FR concept book. Now what is this? FR concept book. FR concept book covers 100% Ind AS, 100% syllabus. It covers all the concepts in simple language, understood? Along with so many examples, along with so many illustrations, exam based illustrations, exam oriented illustrations. Okay. The next book is FR questionnaire. FR questionnaire covers extra practice questions, extra practice exam oriented practice questions. Okay. We'll cover some questions from this book also. Okay. And last but not the least, the most important thing for your last day revision purpose is FR chart book. See, FR is the first paper. We know very well. So obviously, for our first paper, we do give 4 to 5 days minimum for covering entire syllabus or for the purpose of revision. So in the exam days, when we know that our exam is going to be conducted in few days or 2 days or 3 days or 4 days, and FR being a huge syllabus, it is very difficult task to cover the entire syllabus, understood or not? But this chart book will definitely help you to cover the entire syllabus, to cover all the concepts. Like you can cover a particular Ind AS in just 15 minutes only. Yes, you can cover all the concepts of any Ind AS, any one Ind AS in just 15 minutes. So this is the book we'll give you as a hard copy. Okay. Okay. I'm assuming that everybody knows that this is the FR new syllabus batch. We are not talking about old syllabus. Okay, this is FR new syllabus batch, because now frankly speaking, except for opt-out students, there is no old course remaining. Okay, now there is no old syllabus for anyone. So this is the batch for new syllabus. Make sure. Okay. So okay, one more thing about the books. Those students who have registered their self, like who have paid the fees and who have registered their name for the classes, will dispatch the books. But for few starting days, initially we'll dispatch the books in parts. Like FR concept book will be dispatched in parts, like FR concept book part A, FR questionnaire part A will be dispatched in a first shipment. After some days, the second shipment will be coming, FR concept book part B, questionnaire part B, and after some days, the last shipment will come to you, part C of concept book and questionnaire book along with the chart book. So I'm telling you just to inform you that please do not panic, okay? And if you have registered yourself, we'll start dispatching the books from tomorrow onwards, right? The books will be delivered to your place directly, okay? But the shipment will take place in parts. Like the first shipment you are going to get will be concept book part A, questionnaire part A, or question book, concept book part AB, questionnaire part AB along with the chart book. The next shipment will be taken after some days of part C, okay? So those who have registered themselves, please do not inquire about the books. We'll give you the tracking details, we'll give you the shipment and tracking details so that you will be able to track your courier. Understood? So these are the few things about this batch. Now it's your turn. If you want to ask any kind of question, you are most welcome. And after discussing about your questions, after answering from my side, I'll start the technical session, right? Okay, so now it's your turn. You guys, if you want, you guys can ask me the question. Do you guys have any question to ask? Guys, I am ready to answer. Do you guys have any doubt, or do you guys have any question about this batch? If you want to ask anything, if you are having any kind of doubt in your mind, please make sure you are clear about this batch. Sir, how to change the delivery address? Just contact Lakshya Academy, where you have registered yourself, right? Whatever procedure you have adopted already for registering yourself, just contact them and tell them that you want to change your address. Okay, you want to change your address. Okay, one most important thing for okay, forget this, leave it. All clear? No doubt? Okay, one more thing, this batch is applicable for all the upcoming attempts. All the upcoming attempts, like the first upcoming attempt is November 21, but this batch is equally applicable for the attempts after November 21 also. That means November 21 and onwards, like May 22, November 22. So students who are having their attempt in May 22, November 21 or November 22 or whatever, they can join this batch. They can join this batch. Okay? Okay, what will be the timing for daily live session? Our daily live session will be conducted at 10 AM, right? We'll try to cover at least 3 hours in a day. 3 hours in a day. But yes, of course, make sure that if I'm taking 3 hours in a day for FR, you have to give your 2 hours extra for FR. So tentatively, if you are giving approximately 4 to 5 hours in a day for financial reporting, then definitely you are going to get the exemption in FR. So as far as our session is concerned, daily a live session of 3 hours will be there, but students have to give at least 1 to 2 hours for extra practice. for homework session, for extra practice and what. Sir, whether all study material questions covered? Yes. See, as far as my concept book and questionnaire is concerned, this concept book and questionnaire is concerned, these two books covers 90% of the questions from ICAI study mat. So, sir, why you have left those 10%? Because those 10% either they are repetitive based questions or they are very simple, or if we can leave those questions, it will not be a big issue for us. Okay, so in this concept book, illustrations from ICAI module are covered. In this questionnaire, questions, test your knowledge questions from ICAI module are covered. Approximately 90% of the questions from ICAI module have been covered in this concept book as well as questionnaire. Understood? So, sir, from student point of view, I am asking the question. So, sir, if we cover these two books, do we need to consider ICAI material also separately? No. If you are having no time, or if you are left with a minimum time, or if you are not having a sufficient time, then if you are skipping the ICAI material, not an issue, because 90% of the questions and illustrations from ICAI material have already been covered in these two books. Understood? Tell me, any other question? Okay, one more thing. This is the weightage, topic wise weightage of FR, right? Topic wise weightage of FR. See, in our FR new syllabus, we can say that 95 to 96% course covers Ind AS only. There are only two topics, like one is CSR, corporate social responsibility, accounting of CSR, and the other one is integrated reporting. These two topics are non-Ind AS based topics, and the rest entire syllabus covers all Ind AS. So this is the weightage of marks wise or topic wise marks weightage of financial reporting paper. Like you can say that if we classify this entire thing in so many parts, then you can say that assets and liabilities based Ind AS are there. Asset liability based Ind AS covers 30% marks approximately in the exam. Yes, 30% marks covers asset and liability based Ind AS. We are going to cover this one. Business combination, consolidation, joint venture, associate, part 2. This covers approximately 25 marks minimum, 25 marks minimum. Part 3 is financial instruments and revenue based Ind AS 115. Financial instrument and revenue based Ind AS. This covers approximately 25 marks. So tentatively 30 plus 25, that is 55, plus 25, that is 70. Along with that, some special category Ind AS like 21, 20, 12, 34, 108, 33, 7, 102. This covers 15 to 25 marks. And from this, we'll cover Ind AS 21 but not 20, 12 but not 34, not 108, 33 but not 7, and 102. We'll cover these topics. So approximately 15 marks will be covered from this special category also. So 70 plus 15, 85 marks. The rest portion is the miscellaneous one. Miscellaneous one. That means that remember I told you about part C, category C Ind AS, which are more in quantity but less in quality, or less in weightage, should I say. Like roadmap of Ind AS, Ind AS 1, schedule 3, Ind AS 8, Ind AS 10, 24, 101, 113, CSR, integrated reporting. Understood? But yes, one thing is, there is one more thing for you. If you guys are comfortable in Hindi, if you guys are comfortable in Hindi, these topics I have already covered in my FR Hindi batch, and in future I'll upload all the sessions, all these topics in YouTube. So if you guys are comfortable in understanding Hindi or little bit Hindi understanding, then these topics will be covered in YouTube only. So I have already recorded some of the topics from this, and some topics I'm going to record in my Hindi batch, and they will be uploaded on YouTube. So you can cover it anytime. Okay. So technically we are going to cover 100% syllabus, right? Okay. Someone has asked duration of batch. Rashmi. Okay, duration of the batch. See, duration of each and every lecture will be 3 hours, right? Since this is a live batch, I am taking the batch from my home, from my residence, with limited bandwidth, limited network, limited internet connections, right? So sometimes there can be some circumstances of power fluctuations, no network issues, or no power, no electricity at my home. So sometimes there might be we might face some kind of difficulties, and due to such I may have to cancel that day's class. So considering these events, I can say that we'll take approximately 40 to 45 days or 40 to 45 lectures, 40 to 45 lectures to cover our 80% part, वो 80% coverage syllabus. So tentatively, I am not assuring you on this very first day of the class, but I am assuming that 40 to 45 sessions will be there for covering 80% of the syllabus, right? Hindi numbers are tough. I have tried that. In my Hindi batch, I have tried that on taking the numbers, I used English word. Okay, so I'll share with you the playlist of that miscellaneous lectures. I'll share with you the playlist of miscellaneous lectures. You can just test check whether you are comfortable in understanding or not. Okay. Will all the classes are going to be taught in YouTube live? No. First few classes, like first 5 sessions, will be taken in YouTube only, right? In the meanwhile, Lakshya team will mail you the encrypted video player of vSmart Academy, the activation key. I'll give you another video, a short video. I'll provide you one short video how to activate that vSmart player. How to activate that vSmart player. I will give you the short video. Okay. We'll share with the Lakshya Academy also. They will share with you. So in few days you will get the mail from Lakshya or from vSmart simultaneously about the about the activation key, which you have to put it after installing the video player of vSmart. So all the classes except first few 5 classes, all the classes will be conducted in our encrypted live software of vSmart Academy. See, these are the classes which are taken on behalf of vSmart Academy as well as Lakshya team, right? So Lakshya and vSmart are basically having their mutual understanding, and we are taking the classes in association with Lakshya and vSmart. Okay. So you will get the vSmart video player as well as the activation key for installing, right? Okay, so can we move ahead? Can we move ahead? Okay, sir, how we will ask the doubts from you? So now there is one more thing about doubts. In live session, after live session, suppose somebody is taking the classes on offline basis, because the same classes will be available for the students on offline mode also. So in live session you can ask, we can have two options, right? Option number one, the chat feature in our vSmart video player plus one Telegram group. Now as far as Telegram group, I have to create this group. Will make a group, make a closed group for students, okay, for students. So what we will do, there is a chat option, chat feature in our vSmart player. For the time being, we are taking the classes on YouTube. You can ask your doubts on YouTube, just like what you are doing currently. We will create one Telegram group also, one closed Telegram group of registered students only. They can join the group. I'll share the link of that Telegram group with all of you, okay, and you can join that Telegram group. All the updations about this batch, if suppose if suppose I'm changing the time, or I'm cancelling particular day's class because of any reason, I'll communicate with you on such Telegram group. Even while asking doubts, you can ask me the doubts on this Telegram group also, okay. After live session, what about after live session? So after live session, or for those students who are not taking the live session or who are registering themselves for the offline session, they can ask the doubts on WhatsApp. On WhatsApp 7887 788705, WhatsApp only. For the time being, for asking doubts after the live session, WhatsApp facilities here. Yes, we are actually working on our other softwares for asking the doubts, and to make it more simple. See, asking doubts is a very common thing, and we are working on some software, some apps, so that answering each and every student will be a simple process from us. So for the time being, WhatsApp will be the only option for asking the doubts, okay. Guys, one more thing, for creating Telegram group and for adding some persons, please do message me on WhatsApp. This is my WhatsApp number. Those students who have registered their names for this batch, I request you, please do WhatsApp me your name, okay, your name, your city, and whatever that you are, and just tell me that you have registered yourself for the FR English batch. That's it. So that I can save your name and put your name in our Telegram group, add you in my Telegram group, okay. So a Telegram group will be created. I'll add you. Just message me, just WhatsApp me your details, your name and your city, and just tell me that you are the student of FR English batch, you have registered yourself, that's it. And whenever you want, at earliest, just message me at earliest, so that the group will be created after this session. Today, after this session, I will create the group. Just message me at your earliest, okay. if we miss any session, Rakhi, if we miss any session, how can we access the recorded session? See, we'll provide you 100% backup facility for recorded session. Like if you are missing any live session and if you want to cover that session in the same day only, we'll try to give you the backup on the same day only, so that you can cover your portion on the same day, and on the very next day you can join again the live session. So 100% backup of all the lectures will be provided to you. In further lectures I will give you the details for backup also, that how can you access your backup. Okay, in further lectures I will give you the details, I will give you the some demo for backup lectures also. Okay. So for creating Telegram group, so that we can communicate with each other regarding your doubts, regarding classes updations, regarding whatever I can say, like suppose I am going to cancel a particular session because of any reasons, unavoidable reasons. So I will communicate with you on such Telegram group. I'll create the Telegram group just after this session, today after this session. So make sure, if you are a registered student, please do WhatsApp me. Please do WhatsApp me your details, like your name and your city, and tell me in that same message that you are registered, you have registered yourself in FR English batch. Okay. So guys, tell me, till now, are you guys having any doubt or any other questions? If you have, you are free to ask me. Tell me. Taking notes, books to be maintained. See, Arjun, I told you that you have to maintain a particular register containing 200 or 300 pages. That one register will definitely not be sufficient. You can make extra register also, but try to take one register, one specific register, separate register for FR, financial reporting, right? Whatever I will teach, whatever I will discuss, whatever I will teach or discuss, like suppose I am giving some examples, I will give you the opportunity to write those examples in your copy. But whatever which is already written in our book, like let me show you the concept book and questionnaire. Have you downloaded the notes? Have you downloaded the notes? Have you downloaded the notes? Since this is the first lecture on YouTube, you can download the demo notes from the description box. So I'll show you. Suppose this is, yes, this is a particular Ind AS 12. So this is the concept book. This is the concept book basically. Now in this book, first of all, index is given. Index is given with each and every topic, so that if you want to identify any particular topic, the page number will be given. Like all the topics have been discussed. All the topics have been discussed, like important definitions are there, right? Tax base, current taxes, what do you mean by current tax assets and current tax liabilities, along with the illustrations, measurement criteria, important note, deferred tax liability along with the illustration, illustration 2, illustration 3, again the important concepts along with the author note, again illustration number 4, illustration number 5, right, illustration number 6, the next topic, the next concept, the details, again the illustration, like that. This is the concept book. Now questionnaire, same Ind AS 12, questionnaire contains extra questions for practice, important question from practice ICI module, like I have taken 13 questions, 13 extra questions from ICI module, question number 1, question number 2, along with the suggested answers also, along with the suggested answer also, right, along with suggested answer also, understood, along with suggested answer also. So what is the relevance of making notes, or what is the relevance of maintaining a particular register? See, in a register, when we solve the question, big problems, when we solve big questions, big problems, I'll solve, and along with me you have to solve, you have to write in your copy. As far as concepts are concerned, please, I suggest, please do not write anything, because everything is already written in the book. And please understand one simple point, that we are going to cover the 80% syllabus in 40 to 45 classes, understood or not, and that's really a big task. So writing each and every concept will definitely take some time. Okay, so what I have did, I am giving you the hard copy books. In such books, in those books like concept book, each and every concept is written over here. So you don't need to write again. Whatever I am discussing with you, if you feel like that, okay, this was the important point, I need to write, you can write. You can write in the book only, you can write in your register separately. Register will be for practice only. Register will be for solving the questions only, okay, or for writing the extra examples which I am giving you. That is for the register. But as far as books are concerned, please make sure that you are not going to write each and every point once again in your copy. It doesn't make any sense. Understood? Let me show you the chart book also. I have shown you the concept book, I have shown you the questionnaire. Let me show you the chart book also. This is the chart book. This is the chart book. Ind AS 40 chart book. Each and every topic is covered in a 1-page chart or a 2-page chart, depends on the lengthy portion. Like Ind AS 40 investment property is covered in single page. 41 agriculture covered in single page. This book, this chart book will definitely help you in exam days. First time adoption, Ind AS 101 covered in 2 pages. Ind AS 102 covered in 1 page. Ind AS 27 covered in 1 page. Business combination covered in 6 pages. Entire business combination, all the concepts of business combination in just 6 or 7 pages. Page 1, page 2, page 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, 7 pages. Entire business combination and consolidation is covered in only 7 pages. All the concepts in 7 pages. This chart book doesn't contain any question. It contains concepts in summarized way, in tree analysis. Okay? Anybody having any kind of doubt? Tell me. Anybody having any doubt, guys? Okay, shall we switch to the technical part now? Shall we start the technical session now? Tell me. Mary Abraham, sir, I am out of India. Will you dispatch the books out of India? See, if you are out of India, you can contact Laksha Academy. We'll dispatch your parcel to the Laksha Academy first, and if they are okay with the courier things and all, they can dispatch you. So first of all, kindly ask them, ask Laksha Academy, Laksha admin staff, that are they able to courier you out of India? Then in that case, we'll give the books, we'll provide the books, we'll provide your courier, your packet to the Laksha Academy first, and they will dispatch you. Because see, the dispatch will take place from Pune, from V-Smart Pune, but from Pune V-Smart we are not going to dispatch out of India. Laksh may dispatch out of India, then they will definitely help you. Okay, now let me ask you one last question. Let me ask you one question, and please do reply me. Please do reply me, everyone. Please, everyone, do reply me on that. Let me ask you one question. I just want to know your status. Which status, sir? Status, like, I mean to say, I want to know your attempt. Which attempt is in which attempt you are going to give your exams. So please tell me on YouTube chat. I just want to know who is fresher and who is repeater. So please do write your attempt and bracket fresher if you are a fresher, or repeater if you are a repeater. Please do write. Because of this, I'll get an idea that how many students are fresher and how many students are repeaters. Please, I just want to know the attempt, for which attempt you are preparing for. Okay, attempt you are preparing for, in bracket you can write fresher or repeater. Along with the attempt, you have to write fresher or repeater also. Rashmi, November 21, fresher. Those students who are writing just November 21, please put bracket में fresher or repeater. Fresher, November 21, fresher, November 21, November 21, fresher, November 21 are repeater. Okay. Fresher, fresher May 22. Okay. Fresher, MNK, MNK, I don't know who is MNK. Fresher, fresher, fresher. Okay, Amina Bashir, fresh. Amina Bashir, I think I know her. Amina, you are my existing student now, I think, if I am not wrong. Amina Bashir, I think she is my existing old syllabus student. Okay, all the best, Amina. November 21, fresher. Gopi, fresher, November 21. Marine Jacob, November 21, repeater. Okay, so maximum students are freshers and almost all are November 21 students. Okay, fine. Only few students who are repeater and only few students who are not having attempt in November 21, they are planning for May 22 or any other thing, any other attempt. Okay, so this will definitely help me. Actually, I am just trying to understand that which public is this. Understood? So that I can be sure that okay, I am dealing with the freshers maximum, so that as far as freshers is concerned, I have to start each and every topic with some basic criteria. So this will definitely help you to understand all the topics. Anila, repeater. Okay. Vishnu, fresher. Fatima, fresher. Okay, that's it. Understood. Understood. So now guys, if you guys have already downloaded the notes, I'll show you some notes. First of all, this is the first topic in our notes. This is the first topic in our notes about roadmap of Ind AS, and this is from that miscellaneous topic. Miscellaneous topic. This is not important for exams. Yes, this is important this is important for basics, for understanding basics. You should know some of the things about roadmap of Ind AS. I'll explain you in today's session. So the first topic is roadmap of Ind AS. First topic is roadmap of Ind AS. Like Ind AS is applicable to which company? Understood or not? Ind AS is applicable to which company? This is the miscellaneous topic. I have already told you about the miscellaneous topic list. So this is the topic from list of miscellaneous topics, right? But still, since this is the first class, I will explain something from this topic also. Understood or not? Not in details, since this is not important for exams. ICAI is not going to ask anything about this in the exams, but yes, I'll explain some important things in today's session. The next topic in our concept book is framework for the preparation and presentation of financial statements. This is again a topic from miscellaneous topic list. Again, definitely I am going to cover some few important points from this chapter also. Don't worry, from this chapter also I'll cover some few important things. What I want to tell you is these are the very basic topics. I will explain some important things in tomorrow's session, and I'll give you the homework for the rest of the part of this topic. So some of the part will be covered by me in the class, and the remaining part will be covered by you only, by yourself. Understood? If you want to watch Hindi lecture for this, I'll provide you even in our YouTube channel. I'll upload all the miscellaneous topic Hindi lectures in our Lakshya YouTube channel also. Okay? I'll ask Lakshya Academy, Lakshya admin team that can I upload all the Hindi lectures also. If they are comfortable, I'll definitely upload in the Lakshya channel only. Okay? The third topic is Schedule 3. Now this third topic, Schedule 3, covers the format of balance sheet, format of P&L, general instructions how to prepare balance sheet and P&L for the presentation purpose. Along with this topic, there is another topic which is Ind AS 1, that is presentation of financial statement. Guys, Schedule 3, that is topic number 3rd, and this topic number 4th, that is Ind AS 1. These are actually similar to each other. These both topics are similar to each other. So for first 4 topics, which are the first 4 topics? Roadmap, framework, Schedule 3, and Ind AS 1. I'll cover all the 4 topics, not in details, but in short. Like I'll cover roadmap, will cover few things from roadmap, few important things just for your knowledge, which I consider that students should have the knowledge on such things. Framework, I'll cover few things, few important things for your knowledge. The rest part will be covered by you only. Ind AS 1, Schedule 3 will cover some portion, rest part will be covered by you only. Okay, and then we'll start Ind AS 12. sincerely. We will start Ind AS 12 and this topic will be covered by me only entirely. Okay, so from this topic onwards, we will start, our actual studies will be started. But maybe I am going to take today's session and tomorrow's session for covering starting 4 topics, for covering first 4 topics like roadmap, framework, schedule 3 and what Ind AS 1. These first 4 topics, I'll take some important portion from these 4 topics in today's session as well as in tomorrow's session. Probably in tomorrow's session we'll cover up all these 4 topics, important things. Then from day after tomorrow, that is from session number 3, from day number 3, we will start our financial reporting subject from Ind AS 12. Understood? So okay, open this roadmap of Ind AS, open this one. Okay, roadmap of Ind AS. Index says applicability and phase wise compliance of Ind AS. Applicability for banks, insurance and NBFCs. Okay, for your motivational purpose, for your motivation, I have put one quote. Separate quotes will be there in each and every topic, for just for your motivation purpose, right? During studies, during preparations, we should be motivated continuously, right? We should be motivated continuously. So I have put some quotes, some motivational quotes for the students. Okay, keep your eyes on stars and feet on the ground. Okay, let's start. So this topic, roadmap of Ind AS, this topic, what is all about? What this topic says, roadmap of Ind AS. Basically, first of all, Ind AS, originally Ind AS was applicable in India for Indian companies. Ind AS came in 2015. In the year 2015, MCA has notified that yes, there are some companies who have to follow Ind AS only for the preparation of their financial statements. They will not follow accounting standard, old accounting standards, right? So the original notification came in the year 2015. So when they introduce such notification, they basically covered all the companies in 2 parts. Like there are some big companies and there are some small companies. For applicability of Ind AS, what they did, they have written 2 phases. Phase 1, for some of the specific companies, they have to follow the Ind AS in first priority. And then phase 2, some more companies will start complying with Ind AS from some next years. Understood or not? So yes, if I say that yes, 16th of February 2015 was the notification date when the Ind AS were notified for India. Okay. Now see this, what is the phase wise compliance of Ind AS for corporate? What is the phase wise compliance? There are 2 phases, phase 1 and phase 2. Now what is the phase 1 basically? Phase 1 means, phase 1 covers all the companies like listed companies, all the unlisted entities excluding SMEs, small and medium listings. Okay, all the listed companies excluding the companies listed on SME exchange, and all the unlisted companies are going to comply with Ind AS, are going to take the Ind AS for the purpose of financial reporting for the purpose of financial statement from the beginning, from the year, where is it? 1st April 2016. So as on 1st April 2016, each and every company which is listed company or unlisted company having a net worth of more than 500 crores. Net worth of more than 500 crores. 500 crores or more. So is there a listed company? Yes, listed company having a net worth of 500 crore or more, this company will be covered under phase 1. Unlisted company, net worth of 500 crore or more, this company will be covered under phase 1. Even suppose there is a company A Limited. A Limited is a listed entity. Okay, having net worth, not turnover, net worth of 500 crore or more. Now A Limited is having some subsidiary companies and they are unlisted and they are not having net worth of more than 500 crore. Suppose A Limited is a parent company having net worth of 500 crore or more. Ind AS will be applicable for A Limited from 1st April 2016. What about the subsidiary companies of A Limited or the associate companies or the joint ventures of A Limited not having net worth of more than 500 crore? What about that? Those companies will also be covered in phase 1 only. So if any company is having net worth of 500 crore or more, that company along with their subsidiaries, associate joint ventures, even though those subsidiaries, associates or joint ventures are not having net worth of more than 500 crores, they will comply with the Ind AS from 1st April 2016. Same rule applies for unlisted entities also. So any listed entity, any unlisted entity and all the subsidiaries, associate, joint ventures of these listed, unlisted having net worth of 500 crore or more will comply the Ind AS from 1st April 2016 on mandatory basis. Mandatory basis. See, this is the mandatory compliance which is written here. Mandatory compliance. Current financial year of Ind AS. Current financial year of Ind AS. Financial year 16-17, that is ending on 31st March 17. That means their first Ind AS will be 31st March 17. Okay. Are they allowed for voluntary compliance earlier? Yes. Such companies are allowed to comply with Ind AS earlier than this period. So voluntary compliance is also there. That is optional and that was financial year 15-16. So voluntary compliance 15-16. Like any company can voluntarily apply Ind AS from the financial year 15-16, but mandatory from 16-17. Understood or not? Now this becomes the history. What is the relevance of this? Nothing. Actually nothing. This becomes the history. Okay. If they are preparing their financial statements for the current year based on Ind AS, their comparative previous figures, previous financial year figures must be as per the Ind AS only. Must be as per the Ind AS only. So suppose you are adopting the Ind AS for the first time in the financial year 16-17. So your 16-17 figures definitely as per the Ind AS. Along with this 16-17, you have to show the comparative figures of 15-16. The comparative figures of 15-16 should be as per the Ind AS only. Understood or not? Should be as per the Ind AS only. So if any company is adopting Ind AS for the first time in the current year, they have to show the previous year figures as per the Ind AS only. Understood? Now what do you mean by transition date? What do you mean by transition date? This is somewhat important, but I'll cover this after some time. I'll come to this point after some time, not right now. I'll cover this point after some time, not right now. So this transition date, what do you mean by transition date, or what is the relevance of this column? I'll cover this thing after some time. Please give me some time, because this is not the right time to discuss on this. So phase 1, you can write phase 1 covers all the listed entities excluding the companies listed on SME exchange. They are not covered for Ind AS compliances. So listed entities having net worth of 500 crore or more, unlisted entities net worth of 500 crore or more, and last but not the least, holding parent, subsidiary, joint venture, associate of the above companies. Above companies means they are fulfilling the threshold. So above companies ka parent, subsidiary, holding subsidiary or joint venture associate, they will also be covered under phase 1, even though they are not having their individual net worth of more than 500 crore. Doesn't matter. Suppose I am a company, I am having a net worth of 5 crore only. 5 crore, 5, not 500. I am a company, I am having a net worth of 5 crore rupees only. Only 5 crore. But I am the subsidiary company of my parent company. My parent company falls under this phase 1 category. I will automatically be covered under this phase 1. That means even though I have a net worth of 5 crore, I have to prepare my financial statements as per Ind AS only. Since my parent is covered under phase 1, I have to follow Ind AS also. And vice versa. Suppose subsidiary is covered under phase 1 because of the threshold, the parent company will also be covered even though the net worth of parent is less. Right? So this is the phase 1. This is the phase 1. Phase 1. Sir, what about phase 2? See, phase 2 starts from 1st April 17. So you have to just remember phase 1 from 1st April 16, that means the 16-17 financial year. Phase 2 from 17-18 financial year, 1st April 17. Now phase 2, what are the companies which are covered under phase 2? See, in phase 1, all the listed entities having net worth of 500 crore or more. So in phase 2, all the listed companies, obviously SME exchange ka exclude karke. So phase 2, all the listed entities having net worth of less than 500 crore. Less than 500 crore. Less than 500 crore means 400 crore net worth, 300 crore net worth, 100 crore net worth, 50 crore net worth, 10 crore net worth, 1 crore net worth, negative net worth. Yes, the net worth can be negative also. The net worth can be negative also. Negative net worth also. But that is a listed entity. So any listed entity having net worth of less than 500 crore will be covered under phase 2. Will be covered under phase 2, and they have to comply with the Ind AS. They have to prepare their first financial statements of Ind AS from 1st April 2017. Of course, we are talking about those companies which were existed in those years. Okay. Now the second, unlisted companies. In phase 1, the rule was same for listed and unlisted. 500 crore or more, listed as well as unlisted. In phase 2, the rule is quite different for unlisted. As far as unlisted entity is concerned, the net worth of less than 500 crore but at least 250 crore or more. So unlisted entity having net worth of minimum net worth of 250 crore or more. I am talking about unlisted entity only, not listed. So unlisted entity having net worth of 250 or more but less than 500 crore was covered under phase 2. Phase 2. Understood? And there obviously their parent companies, subsidiary companies, associates and joint ventures. Same rule. Current financial year for Ind AS, mandatory compliance from 17-18. Their comparative period of Ind AS will be 16-17. What about transition date? I will cover this part separately. This is somewhat important, but I will cover this part separately. See, now this was just for your knowledge. Tell me one thing. Financial year 16-17 and 17-18 are already been passed. They are already been passed. So what is the relevance of these years? Nothing. Because currently, what is the status? Currently, in this year, what is the current status? The current status is that all the listed entities, irrespective of their net worth, all the listed entities, irrespective of their net worths, only excluding listed on SME exchange, they are following Ind AS. This is point number 1. Point number 2, current status about unlisted entities. Currently, all the unlisted entities having net worth of 250 crores or more means 3, 4, 500, 600, 700, whatever. Current status about unlisted entities is that 250 or more, if any company having net worth of 250 or more, they are complying with Ind AS current status. So there is no such relevance for financial year 16, 17, 17, 18 because this has already been passed. Currently the status is very clear. All the listed companies are following Ind AS. All the unlisted companies having net worth of 250 or more are following Ind AS, along with their associate companies, joint venture companies, subsidiary companies or holding companies. Simple. So now what are the companies which are left, which are not complying with Ind AS? What are the companies? Can anybody tell me? I am asking a question that then what are the companies, which companies are applying, which are not applying Ind AS? Which companies are not applying Ind AS? Tell me. Which companies are not applying Ind AS? Tell me. Two-way communication in this class is mandatory. Make sure that there should not be a one-way communication. Two-way communication is mandatory. Since this is a live session, I am expecting that students will communicate with me. Whatever I am asking, they should answer. Even if they are wrong, if their answer is wrong, that doesn't matter. Very good, Zibin. Very good, Arjun. So the companies like unlisted entities having net worth of less than 250 crores are not applying Ind AS, they are applying accounting standards, old accounting standards. And we can say listed entities listed on SME exchange. Companies listed their shares on SME exchange only, they are also following accounting standards, old accounting standards. Very good, Pooja. Very good, Pooja. Understood, guys? So companies, unlisted entities less than 250 crores, AS. Listed on SME exchange, AS. Okay. Hasil Gulzar, very good. So if you want to read this in detail, definitely after the session you can read this. Okay. Okay. Now come to the net worth criteria. Come to the net worth criteria. Net worth criteria. See, when the notification came on 16th of February 2015, 16th of February 2015, see, suppose this is the financial year, 1st April 14, 31st March 15, notification came here, 16 February 2015, Ind AS notified, here the Ind AS was notified, notification came here. Acha, Ind AS notified based on net worth criteria. Based on net worth criteria. So here, when they notified the Ind AS based on net worth criteria, then they issued one statement. They have issued one statement, like as far as net worth is concerned, you have to you have to check the net worth as on 31st March 2014. Net worth of 31st March 2014 or thereafter. So for companies for applicability of Ind AS, which date for net worth, which date you have to consider? Net worth as on 31st March 2014 you have to check. Net worth of 31st March 14 you have to check. Sir, suppose, sir, I am asking a doubt. Sir, suppose as on 31st March 14 the net worth was less than 500. What to do? Not an issue. If as on 31st March 14 the net worth was less than 500, but thereafter on 31st March 15 the net worth becomes 500 or more, phase 1 will be applicable. So which net worth, which dates net worth you have to check? 31st March 14 or thereafter, or thereafter. Now frankly speaking, again no relevance of this date, because this becomes a history now. This becomes a history now. No such relevance of this. No such relevance of this. Even now, suppose I am a company, I have a company, I have incorporated this company 20 years ago. I have a company, I have incorporated this company 20 years ago. And suppose I am having an unlisted entity. I am an unlisted entity. ठीक है ना? And my net worth is not more than 250, is not up to 250 also. My net worth is 50, 40, 60, 70, 80. By the period of time, it gets increases, but it is currently it is less than 250. Currently it is increases, but it is less than 250. So I'm not going to follow Ind AS. But as soon as it will increase or it will become 250, I'll start following Ind AS from the next year. From the next year also. So when my net worth becomes 250 or more, I'll start following Ind AS. Understood? I'll start following Ind AS. So basically then this is not relevant basically. Yes. What is to be covered in net worth? For the purpose of net worth, 500 crore, 250 crore, what is to be covered? Total paid up share capital. Total paid up share capital. Here share capital means equity share capital as well as preference share capital. Free reserves, excluding revaluation reserve. Since revaluation reserve is unrealized profit. Revaluation reserve came from unrealized gains. Plus security premium account if received, minus accumulated losses if you have in your company, minus deferred expenditures and miscellaneous expenditures if you haven't write it down already. So share capital, all share capital, paid up share capital, obviously paid up share capital, not face value, paid up value, plus free reserves excluding revaluation reserve because it is unrealized, plus security premium minus accumulated losses minus deferred expenditures. Okay? Okay. Note, ESOP reserve and capital reserve made out of government grants shall be the part of net worth for the purpose of calculating Ind AS applicability. Yes, just for your knowledge, ESOP reserve means, remember in your IPCC days, intermediate days, there was a chapter in advanced accounting, employee stock option plan. We used to make a journal entry, employee compensation expense account debit to employee stock option outstanding. That employee stock option outstanding is also a kind of reserve, and we used to show that reserve under reserves and surplus head. So ESOP reserve and capital reserve will become the part of net worth for the purpose of checking Ind AS applicability. Okay? ESOP reserve and capital reserve. Understood? Old AS working dear, Asil. Oh, obviously old AS working beta. Asil is asking one doubt, sir, net worth is based on new Ind AS working or old Ind AS working? Obviously the audited financial statements which were already audited as per the old Ind AS. Okay, this will be your homework part. I have already told you that in this chapter I will cover few important things just for your knowledge. So this is your homework part, you can cover by yourself only. Okay, now as far as banking companies are concerned, insurance companies are concerned, NBFCs are concerned, what is the current status? NBFCs have already started adopting Ind AS. Yes, for as far as NBFCs are concerned, Ind AS is applicable for NBFCs. Ind AS is applicable for NBFCs now. But as far as banking companies are concerned, as far as insurance companies are concerned, the current status is still unclear. Unclear means the banking companies, since they are governed by RBI, insurance companies, they are governed by IRDA, they have not yet adopted the Ind AS, and for indefinite time they have postponed the adoption of Ind AS. Indefinite time, like even we are not sure when they are going to follow the Ind AS, because there is one notification of RBI that in that notification they said that we are postponing on the compliance of Ind AS, and they haven't described any date or year from which year they are going to start complying. So as far as banks and insurance companies are concerned, they are not following Ind AS. But yes, in upcoming few years we are expecting a good news from banks and insurance also. As far as NBFCs are concerned, yes, they have started adopting in the same way, like listed, unlisted, listed criteria, unlisted criteria, net worth criteria, same like that. Okay, and again this will be your homework. This will be your homework. Okay, just you can read this, and you want to, if you have any kind of doubt, you can ask me the doubt also. Okay, so this was the entire topic. This was the entire topic which was roadmap of Ind AS. Only one thing was remaining, one thing was pending, that is transition date. Transition date. I told you that I will discuss on this part, transition date. Transition date, right? Okay, what do you mean by transition date? See, any company who is adopting Ind AS for the first time, any company who is adopting the Ind AS for the first time, I am taking one example and you can write that example in your copy also if you want, because there is the most important relevance of transition date. So suppose there is a company Jay Chawla Limited. Let us say there is a company Jay Chawla Limited. ठीक है ना? Suppose adopting Ind AS for the first time, adopting Ind AS for the first time, from financial year, let us say financial year 21-22, financial year 21-22. So in financial year 21-22 I have started adopting Ind AS, right? I'll give you the reasoning, I'll give you the example, I'm giving you the example of transition date, right? So I have started adopting Ind AS from the financial year 21-22, first time I am adopting Ind AS. So in this case my current year will be 21-22. Current year as per Ind AS will be 21-22. ठीक है? Okay. Okay. That means I can say here, I can say that recent audited financial statements, recent audited financial statements as per old AS, as per old AS are financial year 2021, right? Are you getting my point? Recent audited financial statements, definitely my last AS based financial statements would be 2021, last AS based, because from 21-22 I am adopting Ind AS only. So from 21-22 I am adopting Ind AS only, from 21-22 I am adopting Ind AS only. So my my last AS based financial statements, audited financial statements would be 2021 only. Understood? Clear? Tell me, clear? Shall I move ahead? So suppose we all know that there are assets, liabilities, equity items, incomes and expenses. These are basically the elements of financial statements. In our financial statements, in balance sheet we show assets, liabilities and equity. In profit and loss statement we used to show incomes and expenses. But see, as far as incomes and expenses are concerned, every year these are written off to profit and loss account. We all know, basically we are CA final student, we know that balances of incomes and expenses are being closed every year and they are being written off to the profit and loss statement. So technically assets, liabilities and equities are having their outstanding balances every year. Outstanding balances every year. Outstanding balances every year. Outstanding balances every year. So what I want to tell you is this AS based how I will adopt Ind AS. How I will adopt Ind AS. I will take balance sheet of 31st March 2021. I will take balance sheet of 31st March 2021. Basically this is AS based. And this balance sheet will contain assets, will contain liabilities and equity figures. But you know what? This AS based balance sheet will contain assets figures based on AS, will contain liability and equity figures based on AS. That means the amount are already based on AS. So for me, for adopting Ind AS from the next year, that is 21-22, I have to consider this balance sheet. First of all, Should I consider this balance sheet? Technically yes, because this is the last audited AS based balance sheet. But there is one problem. This AS based balance sheet is of 31st March 21. My current year Ind AS, my first current year Ind AS is 21-22. Even previous year comparative figures. Comparative figures will be 2021. But try to understand, when I am going to adopt the Ind AS for the first time for this year, along with this year, I have to show the previous year figures based on Ind AS only. Now this is the problem, because the previous year original figures are based on AS only. See this, 31st March 21. This is the 2021, same year. So problem is, while adopting Ind AS for the first time for the current year, I have to show previous year figures also as per the Ind AS only. And originally the previous year figures are appearing as per the AS only. So there's a problem. So what to do now? There's a problem. What to do now? Understood or not? What to do now? So now the thing is, these figures are AS based. I have to convert these figures as per Ind AS. What to do now? Ind AS decided one date. Ind AS decided one retrospective effect date. Retrospective effect date. So that the previous year figures will automatically be converted into Ind AS. There is one retrospective date. What is such retrospective date? What is such retrospective date? See, this is financial year 2021, this is financial year 21-22, and this is my first Ind AS current year. This is my first Ind AS current year. Okay, this is my 31st March 22. That means here the balance sheet will be as per Ind AS. Understood? First, I can say first Ind AS balance sheet. Okay, along with this first Ind AS balance sheet, the comparative, like 31st March 21, comparative Ind AS balance sheet. Along with this first Ind AS balance sheet, the comparative should be as per Ind AS. So what Ind AS says, for adopting Ind AS in this year, your current year figures must be as per Ind AS. Your previous year balance sheet figures must be as per Ind AS. So what you need to do is take one transition date. Take one transition date, and the transition date will be the beginning of previous year. The transition date will be beginning of previous year. That means 1st April 20. This will be the transition date. This will be the transition date. Now what is the relevance of transition date? As on this date, now you can, in a simple language, you can consider this as the retrospective date. You have to apply Ind AS retrospectively from this date only. When you are going to adopt the Ind AS for the first time for this financial year, not only in this financial year you have to adopt Ind AS, but for this financial year also, and from the beginning of 1st April 2020 you have to start following Ind AS. That means like this is the transition date. That means from AS to Ind AS, jump from AS to Ind AS. This is the jumping date. On this date, we'll jump from AS to Ind AS. So what we will do? Original figures of 1st April 20, original figures of 1st April 20, or I can say 31st March 20, audited as per AS will be converted into Ind AS by applying all Ind AS to those figures. So again, once again, in this financial year, I am going to comply with Ind AS. For complying with this Ind AS from this financial year, you should have a transition date. Now, what is the transition date? Transition date means beginning of previous year. Transition date means beginning of previous year. Now, what is the beginning of previous year? 1st April 20. So, take the figures of assets and liabilities. I am repeating, please do listen to me. Take the figures of assets and liabilities and equity as of 1st April 20 or 31st March 20, whatever it is once it is similar. 1st April 20 or 31st March 20 audited figures, AS figures of accounting standard, old accounting standard figures of assets and liabilities. Convert them into Ind AS by applying all the Ind AS. So you can consider this transition date as the retrospective effect. So if you are applying the Ind AS in this financial year, retrospectively the Ind AS will be applied from this transition date. Now automatically when you convert the figures of 1/4/20, when you convert the balance sheet figures of 1/4/20 into Ind AS, automatically the previous year figures of 31st March 20 will be as per Ind AS, and then the smooth application or the smooth compliance of Ind AS will be there in the current year only. So what is the purpose behind this? The purpose is for a smooth transition from AS to Ind AS, you have to apply Ind AS retrospectively. Now retrospectively means what? From the beginning of earlier period presented, from the beginning of previous year, that means from 1st April 20. So this is as per the example, in our example. So again let me summarize this example. There is a company Jai Limited. Jai Limited adopting the financial statements first time in adopting the Ind AS for the first time in financial year 21-22. So current financial year 21-22 is the first Ind AS financial year. So I have to decide my transition date. Transition date is what? Transition date is beginning of last year, beginning of previous year. So last year is 2021 and 2021 ka beginning year is 1st April 20. 1st April 20. So on the 1st April 20, whatever figures of assets, liabilities, equity of AS based figures, you have to convert them into Ind AS by applying all the Ind AS on such figures. Understood? So this is the transition date. Like here, if you say mandatory compliance, 1st April 2050 transition date. How? Mandatory compliance was 16-17, so the previous year will be 15-16. See, previous year is the 15-16, and beginning of previous year is 1st April 15. So 1st April 15 is the transition date. On this date, all assets, liabilities based on AS will be converted into Ind AS. You remember the GST, transition date of GST, 1st July 2017. When the GST came, it was introduced by central government. It was applied from 1st July 17. So same in case of Ind AS, the transition date is there for the application, for the real application of Ind AS. So tell me, any doubt, guys? Tell me. Any doubt? Yes, 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 yes. You can definitely write the example. Even you can take the screenshot also. Okay, you can take the screenshot also. You can write this example also. Okay, you can write it down. But yes, I'll give you the limited time to write it down. I'll count. I'll start counting from 1 to 10. I'll change the screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, you can write it down, or you can take the screenshot also. You can take the screenshot also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Okay. So we have done with this topic, roadmap of Ind AS. If you are having any kind of doubt, you can definitely ask me right now. Remember one thing again, I told you today, I already told you that please WhatsApp me about your details like your name, your city, and you have registered for this FR English batch, so that I will be able to add you in a Telegram group. Acha, one minute again. This Telegram group will be created temporary for live session only. Temporary for live session only. Once our live session will be over, that Telegram group will be disabled. Understood? So Telegram group is only during live session for communicating. Once the live session, once the batch will become over, no Telegram group, no separate Telegram group will be there, no WhatsApp group will be there. There is my one common group in the Telegram for all the students. I think more than 7,000-8,000 students are already added. There is one channel also for my channel also. More than 13,000 students are already added. You can join that one for further communications. Okay, so now framework for preparation and presentation of financial statements. Framework for the preparation and presentation of financial statements. So guys, what I am doing, let's take a break. During our 3-hour session, we'll take a break of 5 to 10 minutes only. We'll take a break of 5 to 10 minutes only. I'm taking a break right now. Okay, I'm taking a break. Of 5 to 10 minutes. I'll come back again after 5 to 10 minutes and we'll start this discussion. We'll start the discussion. Okay, right? Let's take a break, and after the break we'll come to discuss. Thank you guys. Okay, welcome back after the break. Welcome back after the break, guys. Are you guys with me? Okay, so the next thing is framework for the preparation and presentation of financial statements. Shall we start? Framework for the preparation and presentation of financial statements. This is again a miscellaneous topic, right? This is a list of this is a topic from list of miscellaneous topics. Whatever the important points I'll discuss from these topics, and the rest part will be your homework. Rest part will be your homework. Okay, these all topics are covered, these all things are covered in this particular topic. Okay, the past cannot be changed, the future is yet in your power. Has a deep meaning in this. The past is not in your hand. Sorry, past cannot be changed, the future is yet in your power. Okay, so whatever you have done in your past, that you have to forget. Okay, and just look at the future, what you can achieve and what you want to achieve. What do you mean by framework? What is framework basically? What is the framework? See, let's take a simple example, like suppose whenever we try to make a policy, or whenever we try to make some rules, what we do actually, when we try to make some rules, what we do? We make some draft. Okay, and before making the draft, we discuss. Okay, we make some basis. On that basis, we'll draft some rules. So for drafting the rules, for making the rules, we should have the clear understanding of the basis. On what basis we are making the rules? In the same way, framework works. For making accounting standards, for drafting accounting standards, we should know the basics. We should know the basis. On what basis we are going to draft a particular Ind AS. See, if you want to know a particular accounting treatment of any transaction, if you want to know a particular accounting treatment of any transaction or event, you have to look to the Ind AS. You have to identify which Ind AS is applicable for my transaction, right? Understood? But that particular Ind AS or any Ind AS doesn't define that what do you mean by asset. They doesn't define, Ind AS doesn't define the meaning of asset, the meaning of liability, the meaning of income, the meaning of expense, the meaning of equity. It is defined under the framework. What do you mean by asset, liability, income, expense, equity? It is defined under a framework. Ind AS talks about disclosures, that so and so disclosures need to be there. Your entity should disclose so and so things. But Ind AS doesn't say to whom we are disclosing. Framework says that the disclosures, the financial statements are to be prepared for which user? How many users? Which users? For which users we are preparing financial statements? So this framework defines assets, liabilities, incomes, expenses, equity. It tells us that who are the users. See this. Who are the users of financial statements for which you are preparing the financial statements and disclosing each and every fact. Understood or not? Understood or not? Clear? So what is framework? Framework is the basis. It defines you assets, liabilities, equity, liabilities, assets, expenses, incomes. It gives you a reasonable idea that who are the users for whom we are preparing financial statements. It provides you the underlying assumptions. On what assumptions we make our financial statements. On what assumptions we make our financial statements. Understood or not? It provides you the characteristics of a financial statements. It helps you that your financial statement, you have to make sure, framework says you have to make sure that your financial statement should have the following qualities. Ind AS never tells this. Ind AS contains the recognition criteria, like the accounting treatment. Ind AS contains 4 things. See, Ind AS contains 4 things. The recognition criteria means the accounting treatment, how to record. The measurement criteria, that means at what value at what amount or what value we should record. Presentation, how to present asset, liability, income, expense, equity, and important disclosures, what we need to disclose. But Ind AS never talks about the quality of financial statement, that what quality the financial statement should have. Yes, framework says the financial statement should have these following qualities, and to achieve this quality you have to follow the Ind AS properly. So this is framework. These are the elements. What do you mean by assets, liabilities, equity, income, expenses, वगैरह वगैरह. Understood or not? When you follow a particular Ind AS, let us say Ind AS 16, property, plant and equipment, it says you can revalue your assets at fair value. So what is fair value? Some Ind AS are based on fair values, some Ind AS are based on realizable values, some Ind AS are based on present values, some Ind AS based on historical cost values. So what are the values based on which Ind AS provides you guidance? These are the values. It is given by framework. And there is one last topic which is not so much important, but yes, one question came in earlier exams, so we'll discuss it further in the next class. So framework is all about making some basis, providing some quality of financial statements. Your financial statement should have the following qualities. You are preparing the financial statement for these users. Your financial statements should be prepared by following these assumptions. Your financial statements are having assets, liabilities, equity, income, expense. So what is the meaning of that? This is the thing. Understood or not? This is the thing. This framework can be can be considered by all these persons. The developer of AS. The developer means the authority who is developing, who is drafting the Ind AS. The framework should be referred by them. Before drafting Ind AS, the framework should be referred by them. Framework should be referred by the companies who are preparing the financial statements. Because sometimes in most rare cases, there can be some transactions or events for which there is no Ind AS. Now what will you do? You have to go to the framework and check, can I get any recognition or accounting treatment from framework only? Because if a transaction, I want to record a transaction, but I am not getting any kind of treatment from any Ind AS, what I will do? I will go to the framework portion, because somewhere Ind AS are drafted based on the framework. So I will follow the framework, guidelines of framework to record a transaction if there is no Ind AS applicable. Understood? Clear? So framework is used by developers of Ind AS. Framework is used by the companies who prepares the Ind AS. Third point, framework is used by the users who interpret the Ind AS, like users, for example, you and me guys. If we want to interpret the financial statements of a Reliance company, I want to interpret the financial statements of Reliance company, I should know the clear meaning of asset, I should know the meaning of income, I should know the meaning of expense, I should know the meaning of liability and equity. Where it is written? It is written in the framework. So it is referred by the users of financial statements also for interpreting. It is used by the auditors also to give the true and fair view. Understood or not? So ultimately this is the purpose of the framework. This is the purpose of the framework, right? Is the framework equivalent to a standard? Now the question is, there is Ind AS and there is a framework. Both are same? No, not at all. No, not at all. If a company prepares financial statements, they have to follow Ind AS only. Because Ind AS tells you or provides you the correct or proper accounting treatment, disclosure criteria, presentation criteria, measurement rules for that transaction or event. So framework and Ind AS both are not equal. Ind AS are prepared based on the basis. That basis is called framework. So if a company wants to apply any accounting treatment, they have to look into the particular Ind AS. But yes, of course, if they are not getting any treatment from any Ind AS, they can go to the framework after that. Okay? So framework are not accounting standards. In most cases, see, in most cases where there are no specific rules for your transaction, you need to develop your own accounting policy. Then you would look to the framework, as you cannot depart from the basic principles and definitions. Because see, if you are not getting your accounting treatment from the specific Ind AS, you have to look into the framework, because framework will tell you for whom you are preparing financial statements, on what basis you are preparing financial statements, what are the definition of asset liability. So you have to consider such things and make your own accounting policy. Suppose if you want to apply a particular accounting treatment for a particular transaction, that transaction is new for the entire world and no specific Ind AS is available. Now what will you do? You will consider that you have to think that I want to record this transaction so that my financial statement should give true and fair view. So for whom I am preparing the financial statement? For these users. Okay, okay. On what basis I should prepare the financial statements? On this basis, these assumptions. Okay. What is the definition of asset? Because in my transaction, I think there's an element of asset, or there's an element of income or expense, whatever. So I should know the exact meaning of asset, liability, income. Okay, now I know very well. I referred the framework. Now I'll make my own policy. So what I did? There was no Ind AS. I referred framework. Based on the framework, I created my own accounting policy. That's it. You referred framework. Understood? These are the users of financial statements. These are the user of financial statement. I am just changing the screen for 1 minute only. Okay, these are the users for whom you prepare your general purpose financial statements. Investors, employees. Matlab you prepare your financial statements considering these persons in your mind. That your financial statements may be referred by the investors, the public who want to invest, or already then who are your investors. Employees, lenders mean the bankers from whom you are borrowing the money. Suppliers or creditors. Spelling is wrong. Suppliers, creditors. Customers, government agencies. Customers, debtors means customers. They are also referred. Government agencies, public. So these all persons refer your financial statements. Framework says that when you are going to prepare the financial statement, user will definitely take these two assumptions. While referring your financial statements, while interpreting your financial statements, users will consider these two things. Understood? Matlab while referring your financial statements, user will definitely assume that you have prepared the financial statements on accrual basis, and you have prepared your financial statement based on going concern assumption. Matlab user will always assume that your company is on going concern basis, that your company will never close, your company's business will never cease to close, your business will move further. Understood or not? So user will take these two assumptions. So what a company should consider? Company should understand that when we are creating the financial statements, user is thinking that I have prepared the financial statement as per accrual basis. So is it true? Yes, it is true. I have actually prepared the financial statements as per accrual. Not an issue. User assumed this and I have prepared. Not an issue. But user has assumed that I have prepared the financial statement based on accrual basis, but it is not the real fact. I have prepared the financial statement based on cash basis. What I need to do? When I haven't followed the assumption, this assumption of user, I have to disclose the fact that the financial statements are prepared on cash basis, not on accrual basis, because user is taking a basic assumption that you have followed accrual, but it is not the real fact. So you have to disclose. Same in case of going concern. User will always assume that your company's business will be carried on a going concern. That means your business will never cease. Your business will never close. So your business will continue for a foreseeable future. This user is assuming. So what you need to consider while preparing financial statement, you need to think, is this the fact? User is assuming that my company is a going concern, but is this the fact? Yes. Okay, no disclosure is required. But no, this is not the right thing. My company is going to be closed. My business is going to be closed. We have suffered so many losses. So we have to show this fact to the users that whatever financial statements we have prepared this time, considering non-going concern basis, we prepared the financial statements this time considering non-going concern, means we are assuming or we are estimating that there are some circumstances, because of that circumstances we may have to close our business, and that we have to show the fact to the users. So these two are things. Understood? I'll solve one question tomorrow in the morning. Tomorrow's session, I'll take this question with you. In the tomorrow, I'll take this question. But the real fact is, this question is taken from CA Inter book. This question is taken from CA Inter book. Matlab ICI has taken this question from CA Inter in its CA final book, and I have just copied. So I'll take this question tomorrow. Okay? To understand you what suppose if you are preparing the financial statements based on going concern, how it look like, and if you are not preparing the financial statements as per going concern, how it look like. Understood? So please do read this qualitative characteristics of financial statements. Financial statements should have following characteristics. Please do read this and tell me one thing. Are you guys understanding all the things? Please tell me one thing. Are you guys understanding all the things? Yes. Qualitative characteristics. Financial statements must be understandable. That means you should prepare your financial statements in that way, in a very simple way, so that it can be understandable by everyone. Relevance. Financial statements should disclose all the material facts. It should be relevant. Like while reading the financial statements, we should have a approach that yes, these are the relevant information which I got from this financial statement. Okay. Reliability. See, try to understand. User considers your financial statement. User prepares the financial statements. User consider the financial statement for their own purpose, for taking the decisions. So they must be reliable, so that their decision, which was based on your financial statement, can be taken properly. Like faithful representation. Substance over form. What is substance over form? Substance over form means when you record any transaction or event, don't look into the legality part of that transaction, look into the real fact. Record the transactions and events based on the real fact, not on the legal part. Neutrality. Financial statements must be neutral for all the users. Understood? Prudence. Prudence means conservatism. Always prepare the financial statement taking conservatism approach in your mind. Like future foreseeable losses should be also be considered. completeness. Your financial statements must be complete. They should not be in parts. And last but not the least, comparability. Your financial statements must be in a position that everybody can compare your financial statements with others, or your current year financial statement with your last year. Okay? These are the qualitative characteristics. Do you really think that these will come in your exam? No. Try to understand. This is FR batch, exam oriented batch. This is exam oriented batch. That means whatever we are studying, that is only for the purpose of clearing exams with good marks. Yes, along with that, during discussion, you will feel that yes, you got some knowledge, you got some basic knowledge which you can apply in the real world. Yes, of course. But our primary motive is to get the exam oriented knowledge. So this is not actually a relevant portion for our exams. Elements of financial statements. What are the elements? This is basically the CA Inter portion. In our CA Inter syllabus, this was already there. What do you mean by asset? So asset should have two qualities. Anything which consists of two qualities will be treated as asset. Which one? Control. Control means it basically leads to ownership or deemed ownership. When I have a control that I can do everything, like I can sell the asset, I can destroy the asset, I can use the asset, I can keep it for no use, I can rent it out, I can lease it, I can transfer it, I can exchange it, I can demolish this. Whatever I want, I can do it. Control. Control generally arises from ownership or deemed ownership. And the second most important characteristic asset should have is the future economic benefits are expected to flow. If I am having an asset where I am having control, but I am not expecting any future benefit, that is not an asset. Asset should consist of both the characteristics, control as well as future economic benefits. So these all the things are taken, definitely you have already must have covered in your CA Inter. No sir, we haven't read that in CA Inter. So you have to read up now. So students, asset portion, liability portion. What do you mean by liability? What do you mean by equity, income, expense? Okay, one thing. Tell me one thing. What is the difference between liability and equity? There is a simple difference. See, what is the similarity? Liability items and equity items both are shown on the left side. Matlab both are shown on the basically similar side. But as far as liability is concerned, company is having obligation to pay, to settle something, to make some outflows, to provide cash, to provide any other asset, to settle. But in case of equity, company doesn't have any obligation to settle anything. Equity means a residual interest. Like what do you mean by equity share capital? Equity share capital means we are communicating with shareholder and we are telling them that see, we are not having any obligation towards your amount. You have invested your amount in our company, but we are not taking any obligation to give you back. Okay? But yes, this company is totally yours. After discharging all the liabilities, whatever the portion remains, that will be of yours. Now suppose I took 1 lakh rupees from a bank, I took 1 lakh rupees from equity shareholder. As far as bank is concerned, it is my liability. I am telling them that okay, if my company will become liquidate, I will pay you first, not him, not to my shareholder. Okay, so it is my liability. To my shareholder, I am telling that see, you have given me the 1 lakh rupees, but I am not having obligation towards your money. I am doing the business from your money and from bank's money. I'll make the earnings, I'll make the profit. One part of the profit in form of interest, I'll give it to them. After all the expenses, whatever earning will be there, this will be yours. Earning belongs to yours. If my company will become liquidate, I will not pay you in first priority. I'll pay the banker. After paying banker, whatever remains, it is yours. Whether excess or deficit, it is equity. Understood? So there's a basic difference between liability and equity. Income, what do you mean by income? What do you mean by expense? Basically, income or expense, taken definition again, CA Inter. We have already in our CA Inter course, this was there actually. What do you mean by income? Income is anything which increase your capital. Income is anything which increase your capital, except capital contribution. What is expense? Expense is anything which decrease your capital, except withdrawals from capital. Simple. Guys, tell me. So, read this portion. Read this portion as a homework. If you want to ask any doubt, tomorrow in the next class, when I start the lecture, I'll start with your doubt discussion. Okay? I'll ask you the doubts first. That whatever points were there for the homework, you guys can ask me. Sir, what is this measurement of the elements of financial statements? What is this measurement of elements of financial statements? I told you that so many Ind AS are having their own measurement principles. Like if we talk about Ind AS 16, it says take fair value. If we talk about financial instruments Ind AS, it says present value and fair value both. In some point fair value, in some point present values. If we talk about some other Ind AS like Ind AS 38, Ind AS 16 again, initial recognition, it talks about historical cost. So how many measurement principles are there in total? These are following measurement principles. First is historical cost. What do you mean by historical cost? Historical cost means acquisition cost. Acquisition cost. मतलब paid price. This is historical cost. What do you mean by current cost? What do you mean by current cost? See, current cost. Value of an element which has been recognized at its recent paid or received price. मतलब current cost means I have the asset. If I currently sell it, what I will, if I currently purchase it, I have an asset, I have a machine, I purchased that machine 5 years back. But suppose same machine, if I purchase today, at how much price I have to pay? Current cost. The next is settlement value. Settlement value. The value of an element which is required to be recognized at the value which is to be received or paid by selling. Now these, by selling. As far as current cost is concerned, I have given you the example that suppose the same asset I would purchase now, how much I have to pay. But as far as settlement value is concerned, I have machine. If the same machine, if this machine is to be sold in the market, how much I will get? This is settlement value. So current cost and settlement value. Current cost, today how much price I have to pay if similar asset I have to purchase. Settlement, the asset I have, if I sell it, how much I will get. Present value, everybody knows present value means present value of future outflows based on discounting. So it is based on discounting always. So it considers inflation, time value of money and all. Fair value. What is fair value? Fair value is actually defined in Ind AS 113 also. An amount at which liability or exchange asset or liability could be exchanged or settled between knowledgeable or willing parties. That means in an arm's length transaction, what will be the price? It is fair value. So these are the measurement principles. See, whatever we are covering right now, it is not actually relevant for the exam point of view. It is just for your basic understanding, since this is the first class, and generally in first 1 or 2 classes, like student doesn't expect that I should directly start with big Ind AS. Obviously, suppose if I start with Ind AS 12 income taxes, it is a big Ind AS. Obviously you guys will feel like that there's a I kind of feeling of inconnectivity. You will not be connected with me. So just for making a connection with me, I am discussing you these points just to make a connection. You should know how I teach actually, and how we are going to cover the things. First 5 classes will be on YouTube, and I am requesting you that even if you haven't purchased the classes yet, not an issue. If you are in a dilemma, just complete your starting 5 lectures, then only decide what to do. Because in a single day, in a one lecture only, you cannot decide basically. For deciding, for making decision, you should know my teaching techniques, and teaching technique cannot be proved in a one class. Understood? So settlement value is similar to NRV. Yes, can say. Hasil, can say, yes. Okay, this is the topic which I will cover tomorrow. To be covered in next class. Okay? What are the carve outs in Ind AS? What do you mean by carve outs? You must have heard about carve in, carve out of Ind AS. What do you mean by carve out? Carve out is nothing, it is just differences between IFRS and Ind AS. It is just a difference between IFRS and Ind AS. Okay? So this is your homework portion. Do read this. What do you mean by carve outs? This is just for your knowledge purpose. Carve outs are just difference between Ind AS and IFRS. So yes, since this is the first lecture, I am not in a mood to continue further. Let's end this session right now. This is the first class. If you guys are having any kind of doubt, then you can ask before concluding the session. I am concluding this session bit early, like 5 to 10 minutes early, but yes, since this is the first session, I am doing this. I consider FR as one of the largest subject, having largest syllabus, at least in group 1. It's a very huge syllabus. It has very huge syllabus. Even in all 8 papers of CA final, I consider this as in a number 2 position, I think after DT, or definitely it can be number 3 position after IDT also. If someone consider IDT as also a huge subject, then yes, tell me, shall we conclude the session, or you want to ask anything? if you have any doubt regarding these things, or if you want to ask anything, any details for the classes, you are most welcome. Before concluding the session, I just want you to just communicate with me if you have any doubt. Tell me guys, no? If you are not having any doubts, you can write the things, so no doubts sir. See, the communication is important. If you are having doubts, then write your doubts. If you are not having any doubt, then you can write it down, just no doubts sir. Communication is important. I want everyone to communicate with me. Can we have multiple login of class? What do you mean by multiple login? I actually couldn't get you. It's clear sir. Okay, Anila, Sharad. Multiple login means if you want to watch the lecture on laptop and second lecture on the second day on the mobile, then laptop, then mobile, then laptop, like that. Yes, we will have the facility like that, but we recommend you to be stick on one device only. Yes, you can change your device from one laptop to another, from one mobile to another, but please don't do this frequently. Don't do this frequently. We recommend you to be consistent on one device only. But yes, because of suppose your device is not working properly, then you can change it. There will be a login logout facility. Login logout facility. You have to log out first from the old device and log in again to the new one. Asil, sir, in your opinion, do you think we will be able to finish off first group for November 21? Good question, Anil. Anil nahi, Asil. See, August, September, October, 3 months are there, frankly speaking. So, sir, do you think that these 3 months are sufficient for first group? If we are freshers, see, if you are giving at least 12 hours, even more than 12 hours, giving 12 to 14 hours of study, then definitely you will be able to cover the entire group 1 syllabus. But if currently, if you are not in a position to give 12 to 14 hours and you are giving just 5 to 6 hours, then it will be a difficult task for you. Sir, there will be classes on Sunday that will be communicated on every Saturday. For classes on Sunday, I will not tell you anything right now. For Sunday, there can be or cannot be the classes. That depends, right? For Sunday's classes will be communicated to you on Telegram group. Whatever I will make a Telegram, whenever I will make the Telegram group, that will be communicated to you. Bilal, yes, I remember you. I'm coaching batch November 19, very much confident after attending your class. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Bilal. Thank you so much. Yes, I remember your name, I think. Yes, Bilal. No doubt, sir. All clear. Chalo. Okay. So, we are concluding this session. Tomorrow, same timing, same YouTube channel of Lakshya. I'll try to create one Telegram group with the students, and those who have already messaged me or WhatsApp me their name and mobile number, I'll save the contact details and I'll add them to the Telegram group for further communications. Okay? Okay. चलिए, थैंक यू सो मच गाइस, थैंक यू सो मच, बाय बाय, टेक केयर.